Welcome to Three Voices Unfiltered, where no topic is off limits and everything gets real. Join us,
Ranisha,
Teresa,
Suzanne, as we dive into hot topics, share our wildest experiences, and bear our honest opinions and thoughts. Buckle up, because with us, it's always raw, always vibrant, and absolutely unfiltered. Welcome, everyone, to Three Voices Unfiltered. My name is Suzanne.
I'm Teresa.
I'm Ranisha.
And we're so happy to have you here. Join us one more time. Today we'll be talking about social media, specifically how connected and consumed we get with it and how it affects our daily lives. Because we may not think about it, but it does affect our daily lives. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, and somewhere in between, right? You guys
That's
agree?
true.
Yeah.
As I scroll social media.
She's scrolling on social media, and that's okay. So I was thinking about this topic yesterday, and I thought about how did I get involved with social media? When did it start? So I remember back in the 90s hearing of MySpace. You remember MySpace?
Oh, yeah.
I remember MySpace.
Mm-hmm. I got curious and I opened a MySpace account, but I didn't do anything with it. It seemed confusing and overwhelming, so I didn't do anything with it. And maybe 2006 or 2007, my son was on the computer and I could see him, doing or typing or something. And I'm like, what are you doing? He says, I'm on Facebook. And I thought, and I asked him, and I asked him, like, what's Facebook?
Wow.
So he said, oh, Mom, it's just a social, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember his exact words, but something about it's a social media platform for high schoolers and college kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he may have said something like, where we interact with my friends or something. I said, well, I want to do that. And I remember he stopped me and he said, no, it's for high schoolers and college children or young adults. So I thought, kind of felt old and excluded, right? So, but Facebook kept growing, and in 2009, late 2008, 2009, I moved, and I felt a little bit disconnected from my friends. So I thought, I'm going to try this Facebook thing, because by then it was beyond high schoolers and college adults. I got it, and I loved it. When I started finding my friends, I was so excited. And oh my gosh, this person, I haven't connected with them in so many years, and it was really fun to interact with them and get reacquainted. Facebook now is not what Facebook used to be then.
Right.
We were playing Farmville, and
I got memories from Farmville. Like, that's all I did on Facebook.
Yes, I would call people like, hey, can you go harvest my crops? I'm at a doctor's office.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun, and it's not, and then, we all know how Facebook evolutionized to what it is today, which is sometimes overwhelming and stressing.
Yeah.
So I don't feel the same peace and joy that I felt then, but I can get out of it. Like, I just want to be on Facebook and find out what's happening, and I am setting boundaries, whereas if I find someone toxic, I'll unfriend them. I still love you, my friend, but I just can't do it. So I'll not unfriend them, I'll unfollow them, which is different. I still want to be friends. I just don't want to really listen to whatever you're saying. But I just kind of, and I feel that Facebook or Instagram is less stressful, I feel. But anyhow.
I don't know. I think it's the same.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think for me, I use it for my business. So I do that funny video I just showed them.
It was funny.
Yeah. I'm a realtor, and I use it to try to engage people who are interested in purchasing a home. So I use it a lot. But I started out like you on, what's that thing called?
Farmville?
No, before Facebook.
MySpace.
Yeah, I started off on MySpace. I actually talked to Eric Benet on MySpace.
Ooh.
And he was talking to me. I'm like, oh, I like it. So then I went to Facebook in 2009. I started a page. Like you said, just to get connected with friends and family. But now social media to me is like, can I attract customers, clients who are interested? And I have. I've had actually 2 people contact me through Instagram.
Oh, wow.
That I've talked to.
That's really good.
Yeah, about buying a home. That's my experience.
I've had a couple celebrities either like my post or send me a private message, or not a private message, just put a comment underneath it.
Yep.
That was pretty exciting, actually.
I've talked to a couple of actresses on Instagram.
Same.
Teresa, do you remember Queen Latifah's show? Living Single.
I remember.
You do?
I remember Living Single. She's bridging this way.
I'm sorry. Sinclair. What's her name that played Sinclair?
Kim. Kim. With the curly hair.
Yeah, I've talked to Kim.
Oh, wow.
On Instagram, she liked something that I posted because we had some mutual people. She's a speaker now, so she does a lot of that in that realm. I've talked to one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the one that does the teeth. I can't remember her name. Oh my gosh, I'm bad with names. Memory. Anyway, but yeah, it's a fun, playful thing, but it could be a really good, useful platform
if it's used well.
Yeah, I have a right now a love-hate relationship with social media. Okay. I do not remember I remember MySpace back in 2005, 2006.
It was even earlier than that.
Well, when I knew, when I heard of it, and I don't remember when I joined Facebook. I just don't. But
I think you did after me because I think I said, Teresa, you gotta get on Facebook. It's super cool.
Yeah. So, and I can echo a lot of what these two, ladies said, about joining and the purpose and everything like that. I like Facebook now. I'm not on it a lot. I don't post a lot on there. But I like Facebook now because I like Facebook Marketplace. I've sold a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I have bought a lot of things, especially when I retired and I decided I was going to redo my whole house. And so I like that. I like looking at when, friends and family posts or whatever. What I like more so these days is the groups. I belong to quite a few
That's a good point.
groups.
I was getting ready to say that.
On Facebook, and I have learned a lot. And I'm even telling people, try to join a Facebook group. You know what I mean? That people are sharing their experiences and you can share yours, because I believe in the collective. I've been believing in the collective since I've been in corporate America. I believe in the collective, people getting together, sharing their experiences, okay, good, bad, ugly, in between. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to like it or whatever. Keep it moving. I'm on Instagram, but not a lot. And I don't post anything. A lot of times when I am on Instagram, it's only because somebody tell me to go there, or I'm directed to go there because of something else. You know what I mean? But my favorite is TikTok.
She loves TikTok. She loves TikTok. I finally downloaded TikTok.
Oh my God. I love TikTok.
But I still don't love it.
I love TikTok.
Maybe I'm not doing it right.
TikTok is just like any other social media platform. It's all according to your algorithm and what you're looking at. Okay? Because I have gotten so many wonderful...
Algorithms right now are not good.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I love... I've gotten so many recipes, holistic remedies and for healing, things that I even with spirituality, you know what I mean, because right now I don't have a church home, my church, disbanded in December 2023, and I'm not jumping back into a formal church building, okay, but I get my spirit, some spiritual feeding, from Facebook groups and from TikTok. There's a lot of political things on TikTok that bothers me. I'm in a space right now, whereas I think I need to take a break. You know what I mean?
And that's why,
and not all the time, because let me tell you what happened to me just recently. The last couple of days, I just was downloading some, prayers, whatever.
Okay.
And now they're all over my feed. And so I said, okay, Lord, you don't want me to, whatever. And I don't look at or get craziness on my TikTok because, like I said, it's all according to the algorithm, And so that's why I said, I love TikTok. I really do, I've learned a lot, so I actually love, social media. I don't post a lot on, I used to, but I don't post a lot on Facebook. And if you see anything on my Facebook now, it's, I'm sharing something and it's, just be honest, it's spiritual or something, really get on my nerve, I'll say something, I'll put something out there. But I think that it's all according to what you use it for. I think that Renisha using it for, her business, okay, is smart. You have to, I think using social media, I even think using social media if you're looking, to date, I have not used Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, because, I'm
people
single.
have gotten connected.
But people have gotten connected,
and from people that they knew years ago and end up finding each other again and getting married.
I have a Facebook dating story.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And remember that, because this one person that I knew back in my 20s, okay? Now, in your 20s, and y'all don't come for me, okay? We don't know nothing. You don't really know nothing, okay? When I was 21,
you're
22.
Learning, though.
And so you're learning, right? You're gaining experience. And this gentleman, he was like 12 years older than me, okay? But I dated him for a little bit, okay? Because, that's where I was at when I was like 21, 22 years old, so he was like in, early 30s. And so he connected with me. It was this year sometime, right? Oh. And then he started going into this weird, funky place. I had to block him, okay? Oh. And then he's bringing up stuff that happened, and I had to remember, I'm like, sir, I was 22 years old.
I hope nobody comes at me when the things I said or did.
Oh my God! How are you going to bring something like that up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I met a man on Facebook.
Like that.
Okay. And we went on a blind date. I met him on Facebook.
Oh, you're brave.
We went on a blind date in Paris.
Oh
yes.
I remember that story. That's awesome.
Story.
Yes, but we had mutual friends. When you go and you look on their page. I'm like, oh, he knows him and he knows him. And okay, he's good. And they didn't have like Zoom. We Skyped. We Skyped a couple of times before we went out to Paris, and it's a great guy, and I met him on Facebook.
So these are some of the positive sides of social media. Right. We can reconnect with others. We can find groups. Like there was a year where I needed to silence my surroundings. I needed to that was my resolution, to just kind of quiet my surroundings. And one of the things I did was I joined a lot of Facebook groups of hobbies that I do. Like I started following canning groups, and I started following gardening groups and things that I like to do. So so these are some of the positive sides of social media. How about the dark side of social media?
I don't know what you're talking
about.
For
example, I'm going to give you some examples.
Okay.
Social media can affect our mental health, right?
Yeah.
Issues like FOMO, fear of missing out, and comparing yourself to others. I wish I was there, or I want to do that, or because social media puts a lot out there.
Comparison.
It can motivate you, or if you're in a bad place, it can make you feel bad because of where you are. Because a lot of people, social media is a mirage. Some people are just saying things that aren't true. They're saying they're making all this money. They're saying they're traveling all these
gorgeous,
places.
They're doing all that, and it's probably a green screen.
Yeah. So you got to take social media for what it is. I mean, some people out there that are trying to trick folks into doing things.
Scammers,
scammers. But then there are people who are just sharing their lives, and like Teresa's going into groups and learning things. You're going in your canning groups and talking about peaches and and I'm looking at dance videos of my friends dancing and where they're going to dance next. It's all in what you make it.
It's how you do. And I feel that when I'm doing social media and mindlessly scrolling, I'm kind of tuning out the world for a minute. Although
that's true.
It's kind of like, opposite. So I'm using social media to disconnect, but social media is connecting me. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
So it's mindless scrolling. I'm not really, I don't have to make
You
any
don't want to
decisions.
engage in it.
I don't have to think really hard. I'm just kind of engaging in what's in front of me and disconnecting everything else.
But don't you see yourself, like when you go to TikTok, like you said, your algorithms know what to send you.
Mm-hmm.
But I see myself on Facebook. I go to certain things. I go to my group. I look and see what they're doing. I go to this friend's page, see what they're doing. I checked out the wedding, see what y'all were up to. I didn't see no pictures of Teresa.
There's a picture of Teresa.
I was there.
and that's all. And then I'm done. And I'm like,
And then I like to see what people are up to. I'll go check my Instagram. The only time I go check Instagram to see if Kevin or Adele have posted something about Maya or them, because I love them too. And so I feel that social media for me has been a great place to connect with people and know, like I have friends in California, I have friends in New Jersey, and people that don't see that often, but I know what they're doing. So when we get together again, I know everything. I know what's happening. Yeah.
I saw you went to that spot.
Yeah, I know what's happening. Or I'll even, I had a friend that was running, and she may not even know this, but seeing her running videos, and this was a few years ago, she inspired me to do a half marathon.
Yeah.
And just by watching her and her accomplishments, and we ran a half marathon together. But so there are hopefully mostly good things, but there are bad things. For example, how about teenagers and their self-esteem?
Yeah, I think parents have to be involved when their kids are on social media.
How about what if the children are, here the devil's advocate, you don't know about it, they're doing it, and
you should know what your
it.
kids are doing to some degree. Looking at their phone, let me see your phone. Or going and getting their phone.
But Mom, you're invading my privacy.
Okay, see, here we go. That's parenting.
Right?
So
I'm old school.
Mom, I have my own life.
No, you don't. Because you don't have your own life. I gave you life, and I can take you out. My kids, when they had their phones, I'm like, no, let me see what you're doing. I'm checking and looking at their phones. I took their phones away at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, no phones. And I was like, let me see.
What are they doing?
Just check on your kids.
I saw a kid this week. That kid was under 10, maybe 10. And they had an Apple Watch, and I thought, oh my gosh, if I had a no, I think it's great. If I had a child, they wouldn't get a phone, but they could get an Apple Watch. It lets them text, it lets them call, and it tells them the time. Like, that's what you need. In case of an emergency, because we're more, a busier society now, but it gives them an opportunity to make it, but I need a phone for an emergency. Okay, you have a watch now. And I thought it was a good option instead of getting a phone, because you can't really do
you can't take
pictures. You can't do a lot of damage with an Apple.
I guess so. That's
like a smartwatch would be a good option if you wanted a.
I've seen like 8-month-old babies with iPads. Their own iPad.
No. Yeah, you know what? And I know. I don't have too much to say, but this. Okay, my son is in his 40s, and I don't have any grandchildren, so. Yet. Okay, so I have not had to deal with it, like, personally. But I do have a 8-year-old now, in my life. Love him to death. I call him my church grandbaby, my bride. And when he was, I met his mother and him, he was like 3 years old, something like that. And he had an iPad, and he that's a brilliant child. But anyway, he knew what he was doing, but his mother had safeguards on that iPad, so he would look at the little cartoons or
that's good.
Learning, or learning videos or whatever, and I just, listen to her. Just putting up those parental safeguards, for your children. I don't have too much to say. My son didn't grow up in the era of cell phones. All right. The only thing he had back in when he graduated from high school was I did get him a pager. Okay, and I know that's ancient. Okay, that's my age. I never had a pager. Yeah. So as far as devices is concerned, I did not have to worry about or to deal with that,
Yeah.
But if I had to today, I would not be against it, but I just feel like it's the parent's responsibility, okay,
to keep
absolutely
to monitor, your child's activities.
So,
all right, give them some, and I believe in giving children a little bit of freedom. I really do, okay. Okay, so they can grow up to be, their individual self. But that's still parenting and knowing, who your child is and whatever.
And what they need.
Yeah, what they need, because, and it's not cookie cutter. And you can't, if you have multiple children, okay, you can't be cookie cutter with the multiple children. Because you have one that's more responsible than the other.
Absolutely.
I've seen some teenagers now. I've actually have met teenagers that are not on social media.
Yeah.
They have no social media presence. And I think it's great. I kind of feel sometimes that if I could go back, I can't now because I've tasted the Kool-Aid. But I could not go back to not having social media. But I wish that I hadn't. You think you could? I don't think I could. I think I'd be like FOMO. What am I missing out? Like I'm missing out y'all's lives or.
Then you have to pick up the phone and call.
And you have to pick up but now hardly ever anybody wants to pick up the phone.
Well, that's because when we get on the phone, do we ever get off? Okay, because we're talking and we're talking and we're talking and we're talking and we're talking.
I have to schedule a phone call.
Okay, me too,
It's true. We'll be on the phone. I was on the phone with my friend that moved to Maine for an hour and a half yesterday, but that's how.
That's just how it is.
So
we text.
We're both on Facebook, and I know what's going on, but I needed to catch up with her. Face to face.
But I wouldn't say it would disparage me if I didn't have social media.
No, I won't be devastated. I think I would have anxiety at the beginning trying to find out, when I'm on a cruise for a week, I don't have social media. I do get a little bit, but when you get on land, what's the first thing you do?
But I have my phone.
Turn your phone on and go on social media.
Oh, I buy the Wi-Fi.
Well, me too. I buy the Wi-Fi.
So I just.
But the social media still not.
Well, let me share this with you real quickly. Let me share this with you guys real quickly. That's dark for me. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna go there.
Okay, is that it's time consuming.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because first I would say, okay, if I'm out all day and I'm doing what I'm doing, whatever. But I'm retired, so it's two things. If I stay in the house all day, right? Because I'm not really a TV person, to look at TV and movies and stuff like that. I get my fix, okay, because I'm on his phone, okay, what's going on, so I'm on social media. Or if I'm out all day and I come home and, and I'm relaxed, okay, I'm relaxed now, so let me see what's going on,
Okay.
And then it has stopped me from doing some of the projects that I say I wanted to do.
That's right.
2 hours will go by
because it'll be like that,
Yes.
because I mentioned in another video that we recorded about, resolution and goals, and I was talking about genealogy, and I said, and I was like, okay, I'm having a love-hate relationship with social media only because of it being time-consuming.
That's right.
Yeah, what I'm saying? And it's stopping me from...
It does take. So one of the things that I would teach my students is when we're talking about time management and social media is like set a timer. Set it if
that's right.
If you have or gaming, whatever it is you're doing, set a timer. And I would say I personally tell myself I'm not going to open Facebook or whatever until I do this, whatever this is, and then I'll get on Facebook. But it does take time, and I think that's one of the biggest stealers from social media is that it steals my time.
It's a distraction.
It's
a distraction. And sometimes
it's a big distraction.
It's anything. You don't want to overindulge in anything in life, even if it's a good thing. Look at Teresa.
No, because I'm agreeing, like balance. Okay, balance.
Yeah. Because I'll be looking on, I'm like, you know what? I have not called those 5 people back. Let me put that down. Let me call these 5 people back who say they want a house.
Yeah.
Let me do some work.
Yes.
Not just. And I'll be like, nope. If I can do this, I can call people.
That's right. And
that's
what I'll do till I get off my office. I've been sitting here for an hour, time to get up and do something else.
That's discipline,
but some people don't have the discipline.
And some people don't want the discipline. Like me, there's some days where I don't care. I just want to veg, and I don't want to think, or whatever.
But back to the parenting thing, I saw on the news how a young boy committed suicide. He was on this AI forum.
I saw
where
that.
this AI chat box was talking to him like a girl.
I saw that.
And was saying, "Oh, I love you," and they were going back and forth.
Gotcha.
And his mom took his phone because she noticed that he was on the phone way too much. He was 14 years old. She felt like he needed to do other things. He was going inward, and she could tell something was changing. She took his phone for 3 days. Somehow he got back to this chat box, and he was like, "I miss you." She's like, "I miss you too." She said, "Come be with me in my world." So he thought committing suicide, he would be with her. And that's what he did. But that's some of the dark parts of being social media and watching. Parents these days really have to watch what their children are doing with social media.
So much going on. Like I can't even imagine being a parent now with
I know.
so much. It's just too much.
It's just a lot.
All right, so that's a good segue to balance and boundaries.
Yeah.
We need to teach our children balance. You can't be on social media all day. And then practice what you preach. They can't see you on Facebook for 5 hours a day and then you try to tell them they can't be on Facebook for 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
So we have to practice what we preach, and social media has many benefits. Business opportunities or growth, connection with our friends and our family, learning, teaching, but there's a dark side that can suck you in if you're not paying attention. Even us as adults, like I was doing this one thing and I found myself comparing myself to other people and it was a business thing, so it wasn't anything like. Anyhow,
it was a buy because you fine. So.
Thank you. It was a business thing, and I was comparing, like, why can't I do that, or why can't I not be there? And I stopped because they're different than me. And another one is followers. Like, they have 20,000 followers. I only have 200. What's going on with that? Yeah. That's why we want you to follow us and like our podcast and subscribe so that we can get lots of followers. Yeah. So the more we have of you, the more we can spread the love.
Yeah,
but
and there's a lot of social media platforms out there.
Oh,
I know we're just talking about all we're talking about is Facebook and IG, but
and
there's
TikTok,
a lot. And
but
TikTok.
I was thinking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great social media platform for business.
Yes.
Showcasing your skills, your talent, and all those things. If you want a promotion, you want to look for a job, if you want people to see you, if you want to be a thought leader, post your articles, share your educated thoughts. LinkedIn. And a lot of people don't use it.
There's a new one. One of my Facebook friends was sharing a reel or something with me, and I had to go. Is it Threads?
Yeah, Threads.
It's the new.
It's like the new version of X for Instagram.
Yes, I learned about that 2 weeks ago. I did not even. I'm like, what is this? So that's a new. So it seems like we're getting busier. So if you have to go check, I have to check my Instagram. I gotta go check my TikTok. I have to go check Threads. I have to check Messenger and all these things. And sometimes I want to turn it all. I actually really do want to turn it all off. And when I go on cruises, that's one of the things I do like. That
you don't have to look at it.
Yeah. Although I may the first few days I'm like, oh, what's happening? Then after a while I'm like, oh, this is great. Like I didn't miss it, and it's gotten where I don't even hardly post pictures of my vacations and things like that anymore. But okay, let's see what else I can ask you before we get ready to wrap it up.
Do you spend as much time in your email and social media?
Okay. When I was working, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, I lived by my emails. You know what I mean? Really, I had to. But as far as now, no.
I'm like, what email?
And it's like, I know, that's what I said, what email? Let me tell you, if you want to communicate with me, you have to text me. Okay? Because I'm on it every day. Every day. Multiple goes. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I look at my email a lot.
When you work and you have it in your realtor.
Personal. Yeah.
Oh, your
personal email.
My personal email, I get junk and I need to clean it out. Because one time I looked at, I had 89,000 email.
I've been unsubscribing as much as I can.
Me too.
Stop sending me this junk. Oh, all the email I get is junk. Rarely is it something important.
I know, but I'm going to use my phone one day, right? I'll do my phone one day. I should be right there just deleting all of this.
I've been unsubscribing because I need to turn the noise off and down or something. So do you feel pressured to present a certain image or persona on social media?
No.
I used to. You remember the filters? Like, I was like, oh, I don't have no makeup on. I don't got no lashes.
Filters.
Putting a filter on. But I'm like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I'm not. This is just what I look like. It is what it is.
I put my picture after voting, and I was like, that's a bad picture of me. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. That's what I look like after I voted.
Yeah.
So keep it.
It was a little bit pressure for me to, look a certain way when I would post something. So I would put on a filter, and I'm like, people know that it's fake. That looks so crazy. So I stopped doing that. But yes, I've had that, before.
Yeah, I don't do filters. Not saying that I never will, but I just typically don't do a filter. What you see is what you get. So,
I have.
Yeah.
So Teresa, you said
no.
She said she was no. I don't either. I don't feel that I need to present because at the end of the day, my peeps know that's not real.
Right.
So why am I gonna fake it? I feel like I'm being hypocritical because you don't know me. Whatever. This person is always going on vacation. Like I have a few Facebook friends that I met on cruises or vacations, and they're you're always vacationing and you're always doing stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not, and it's not. That's not who I am. I mean, I love to, but that's not who I am. It's just that. So, but they don't know that because I'm new to them.
Yeah, you could easily get pulled into the facade of what people think you should be.
You are,
Yeah, you could easily be the vacation. Oh, I'm just gonna post. And you can be grabbing those vacation pictures from anywhere.
Yeah, well, this was a great topic. Anything else we should add?
Summarize like some good, helpful tips around social media.
Yeah.
The word balance.
We need to
the
balance.
Word discipline.
Balance.
And be careful. Like there's
safety.
So safety is a big one. There's still cases out there of people that have been harmed because they met someone on social media and now even AI evidently is doing it. So that's not even safe.
Like real time. So if you're out of the country, out of somewhere vacationing, post that when you get back. I don't ever post.
That's a good one.
So when I'm posting, it's usually I've already been there. I'm already back.
I like to look at the one thing I do like about is the memories. I do like the memories. So that's why I like to post it the day of.
I was with him.
Because I'm like, this is. I like looking at the memories.
I do like the memories because it shows my kids when they were little. Because we joined in 2009. How many years ago was that?
Yeah, I'm like, Teresa came to visit me this day. You were going to DC. Oh, this is great. I like looking at the memories.
My son do like that.
My son's birthday was yesterday, right? So they put a picture of him that I put up years ago when he was a baby. He was like 3 months old. And I said, oh my gosh, if I put that out there again, he'll get me because he got me the first time. I'm like, listen, that's my baby, okay?
For all your baby.
Right here, look, that Trey J, when he was just born.
He's so cute, actually.
See, that's what I mean.
So there's two things about social media. Just keep it balanced. Keep it safe. Don't let it overtake you. That's a beautiful picture, actually.
And Travian put a dumbbell in his hand.
That's beautiful. Don't let it overtake your life.
Right.
Don't compare.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of don'ts. I'm not telling you all what to do, but
yes, we
are.
Here we are.
just have fun with it and don't let it become you or who you are. Just let it be a little mirror of who.
Let it be something to connect you with somebody.
Yeah.
This girl, she follows me. I think we like Prince. That's the reason why I think I know her. And she was like, can I talk to you? I was like, sure. And she was like, I'm having a rough time. And she shared that she was trying to get an internship. She didn't get it. She felt awful. And I'm like, listen, you're not just about this internship. Keep trying. Don't let it be a door that closes. Let it be a door that directs you somewhere else.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great
And-
advice.
Yeah, it's good. Like not to be be an encourager.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, rather than social media. Well, you were talking about something else, but I'm talking social media complaining. But you can see a lot of complaining
about negativity
posts.
about it. Like
I have two. Yeah, so I have that Ronisha Speaks. I have my realtor page, but the Ronisha Speaks is just positive things that I try to share about.
That's awesome.
Things that I've done in my life and things that I can help.
Maybe I'll start something
people.
with reels with me. Something I don't know how to think about. I've been thinking about that actually the last week about something to do with social media. I haven't decided yet. Do I want to do cooking? Do I want to do hobbies? Do I just want to speak? I don't know. I have to think about it and pray about it and see what.
Or all three, because they're all you.
Just life.
It's just life. That's what it is.
I'm thinking about it. We'll see. Any inspiration? So tell us what you feel social media can do for you. What you feel social media doesn't do for you. So like the positive and negative aspects of social media, how it benefits you, and how it affects society. Because overall, we're all in, and I have maybe a couple friends that are not on social media, but most people are. And our hashtag for today will be 3VU social media. We're going to keep it simple.
Yeah, I like it.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. Till next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Do us a big favor and hit that like button, share this episode, and subscribe.